This is a tutorial on how to complete the references page for the English 102 Career Exploration Report. So for your report, you will complete the title page following APA requirements, which is the page in the upper right-hand corner of the header. The title of the report about a third of the way down the page in bold. Extra double spacing between that and the next line, which is the author's name, the student's name. Then you have the name of the institution and the course, just as you see here, your instructor's name and the date. Then, of course, you will go on to type your report. The name or title of the report should be centered in bold at the top of page 2, and then comes your introduction. Next, you will have centered and in bold the heading for your first section. Then you see here your second section, third section, fourth section, and then optionally you could have a fifth or even sixth section to your report. Your conclusion will also have a heading centered and in bold. And then you come to the references page. So, of course, you will center the word references in bold at the top of the page, and you will make sure that your spacing is set to double space. And then you will set your hanging indent, which in this document has already been done. But just to show you, this is in Word, how to do that, you would go up to paragraph, and where it says indentation, you would choose hanging. If you're using Word 365, the cloud version, then in the toolbar over to the right, you'll see 3 dots where you can use the drop down and you'll see indentation and you can choose hanging. What you need to put on the references page is your written reference. The personal communication will not appear on your references page. Instead, you will be putting that within your paper. And just to get that a little bigger, so you can see that whenever you use information from your interview, at the end of that information in parentheses, you will put the interviewee's name with the first initial, full last name, comma, the words personal communication, comma, and then the full date when you got that information, which would be the date of your interview, and then a parenthesis, and then a final period. So anytime you use information from your interviewee within your report, that's how you will cite it. So on the references page, all that you need to put is your Occupational Outlook Handbook article. However, each tab in that job category is a different web page. So the summary page is different from what they do, which is different from work environment, how to become one, pay, etc. Each one of these has a slightly different web address. And so once you are done with your report, you will need to see which pages you actually used. While the summary page gives you the basic information from all of the pages, that's probably not enough for you to write your report. So more than likely you used several of these tabs. So going back to the example, here the student used 3 different pages. They used how to become a food service manager, summary, and what food service managers do. So you will type out a separate entry for each one. They will all start out the same, Bureau of Labor Statistics. They will all have the same date. They will all have the same main title, Food Service Managers. but each tab or each web page will be a separate subtitle. So you can see here that you use the colon to indicate that this is the subtitle. Then they all come from the same parent organization, the United States Department of Labor. And then here you would put the URL for that specific web page. So you can see that they are all a little different. They have different tabs. Now, you will arrange these pages in alphabetical order. Well, this is all the same, and food service managers is all the same. So the alphabetical determination will come from the subtitle. So H comes before S, which comes before W. So you will arrange those sources on the page in this order. When you cite the source, you don't use the title. You will use the author, which is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and you'll use the date. Since the dates are all the same and the authors are all the same, the only way to distinguish between these different sources is by assigning a letter after the year in the date. And those letters correspond to which source comes first, second, and third. So it all depends on the order in which you place these pages, which of course will be alphabetical. So create your references page before you insert your citations. All right, so now we can go back into where you use the information from your sources and assign the citations. So here we have a citation that has to do with the educational requirements. So this came from the first source. So you can see 2019A. So here we will put the author, Bureau of Labor Statistics. Since this is a group author that has a common abbreviation, we'll put the abbreviation next to it in brackets the first time we cite it, and then a comma, and then just the year. So that would have attached to it the letter A, which tells the reader that that first entry on your references page is where this information came from. Notice the next citation only needs to use the abbreviation for the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and then of course the date with the letter attached. So over here in job duties, this one came from the third article, Article C, if you will, from the references page. And we could tell that from the way the citation is written. Again, we only have to use the initials because we've already established what BLS stands for. So anytime you use information from your interviewee, you will use this full citation here, be the identical every time. And when you use information from the Bureau of Labor Statistics article, then you use the author date with the letter by the year. Again, you can look through the sample report, see how that was done there, and make sure that you follow similar practices when you create your report. All right, hopefully that will help you as you finish your report.